Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the video. If you're just a regular dude and you're trying to get in better shape, maybe trying to get some gains or shed a few pounds, then you've come to the right place, because today I'll be talking about 10 practical fitness tips I think no one really talks about, or at least they don't talk about it enough. My name is Kyle from Balanced Bucks, and I talk about balanced lifestyle, health, and wellness. If you're new to the channel, which you absolutely are because it's the first video I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button if you like genuine and realistic tips on these types of topics. Fitness is an important part of an overall healthy lifestyle, and I'm a big believer that it's more about feeling good than looking good. These tips are based off of my own mistakes and experience, and also just what I believe should be talked about more regarding fitness. So without further ado, let's jump into 10 practical fitness tips for regular dudes. Alright, so number one is to find one or two fitness influencers who you enjoy, who you vibe with, and try to kind of just stick to those one or two sources, because there have been so many times where I've tried to search for the answer to a question only to end up with analysis paralysis and just super confused, because I've looked at 20 different YouTube videos and 15 different blogs, right? I think finding one or two sources to get your fitness information will kind of save you time and energy, because you can always just go back to them for your answers rather than going to a different resource every time, because there's just so much fitness information out there. So I think it really does help to just have a single influencer or two. Tip number two is to have a fitness journal. And this could be on paper or Word document, whatever you prefer, but I think it's just great to kind of keep track of how your body's reacting to what you're doing, how you're eating, sleeping, what lifts you're doing, etc. As you continue on kind of in your fitness process, you could always refer back to your journal and see what you were doing during different weeks and how your body was reacting during those different times. And it's kind of like I think of it as a science experiment on your own body, right? It's just cool to kind of keep track of how your body's doing, and it kind of gives you a better idea of what to do, and it helps you get to know your body better, basically. Tip number three is to set specific goals and to track your progress. This is kind of similar to the last one. In fact, I used to track my progress and keep my journal on the same Word document. But basically, whether you're trying to lose weight or put on size, it's helpful to have a specific goal. For example, if you want to lose weight, don't just say don't just set the goal of losing weight, right? Because you'll never have a way of keeping yourself accountable and really knowing if you're moving in the right direction at the right pace, right? So I would suggest instead is to set a specific goal of, say, losing 10 pounds in 10 weeks, right? And track your progress so you know if you're moving in the right direction, right? And that way you can make adjustments if you need to, right? Some good things to track are your calories, how much you're eating, how much you weigh, how much you're lifting. I think those are all important things to track. But I think it's also important to say that you shouldn't get too obsessed with this, because I've definitely had points in my life where I've been very obsessed, of making sure I eat a specific amount of calories, and just it kind of burns it. At least for me, it just kind of burnt me out, right? So I think while it's good to track different measurables, it's also not great to get completely obsessed with this, right? I think everyone's different with this. I would suggest kind of playing around with what works best with you in terms of how you track your different measurables. And also another great way to track your progress is progress pics. Number 4 is to invest in a program and stick with it for like at least 3 months. I think especially if you're just starting out, I think buying a program that fits your goals is definitely worth the investment. And it's like, I think most programs are around like $50, which I think is pretty fair for how much time you would save by actually buying this program. A lot of these programs are made by professionals who, know what they're doing, and it will ultimately save you a lot of time, because I've tried to kind of make my own programs before, and in hindsight it just took a ton of time and I did it completely wrong, and I would have just been better off like investing $50 in a program to begin with. Once you do decide what program you want and you've bought it, I'd suggest sticking with it for at least 3 months, because you're not gonna like see results like instantly. And like a lot of these programs are marketed in a way where like it looks like you'll transform like super quick, and that's just like, realistically, that's not how it works. These things take patience and consistency. So I would stick with a program once you buy it for at least 3 months, and see how it goes for you. And after those 3 months, maybe then evaluate and see how you like it. Number 5 is to accept that mistakes are part of the process. I can pretty much guarantee you that every single fit person ever has made plenty of mistakes like on their fitness journey, right? And it's just part of the process. And I think the important part is to not get discouraged by any mistakes that you realize, and just kind of learn from them and keep moving forward. Because honestly, it's probably good that you're making mistakes, because it's bound to happen anyway. And making mistakes is better than not doing anything at all. Number 6 is to do cardio that you enjoy. Like, cardio should not be something that you dread at all, because like there are so many different ways you can do cardio. Like, just think of any sports you like. You could play basketball, you could run, you could walk, you could hike, like you could bike, you could swim, you can freaking like pogo stick. Like, literally, like there's so much you can do for cardio. So you should do what you enjoy, because that's really what we're trying to get at here, is like to enjoy this process, right? I like to think as cardio as like me time, you know what I mean? Like, I just like plug in some tunes and go like vibe, you know what I mean? Just like go for a walk, go for a hike. Like it should be like a you time. Like enjoy your cardio, man. Tip number 7 is to make a new friend or find a current friend that's the same fitness level as you, because it's really nice to just have someone to kind of bond over fitness with who's like at the same level as you are. You could give each other advice on what's working for each of you. You could get an occasional workout in together. It's just like cool to have that extra support, and it's just another way to enjoy the fitness process. All right, tip number 8 is to drink alcohol strategically. Obviously, like, going out and drinking is fun, but like it's not really gonna contribute to your fitness goals all that much. So but that being said, like, moderation is key, and you still want to have like a social life, you still want to have fun. So like, I'm not someone who says like cut out all the alcohol, you know what I mean? Because that's just like unrealistic. You want to have fun, right? So what you can do is just to try to drink a bit more strategically, and there are a few ways that you can do this. One being, like, instead of getting like shit-faced 3 times a week, I would say just kind of go for quality over quantity, and maybe just have like 2 solid nights out a month or something like that, where you go to like a concert and like you could really enjoy your drinks there, even though at the time of me filming this is COVID, so concerts aren't really a thing. And I wish they were, because I want to vibe. Anyway, that was a tangent. Another way you could drink strategically is to make sure that you eat extra clean the day of going out for drinks. So just be a little bit stricter with kind of the meals you're eating during the day, so you save those excess calories for when you're going out to the bars or whatever. You know, honestly, I may make like a completely separate video on this topic because it's kind of fun to talk about. But basically, just like common sense, you know what I mean? Like, you guys will figure it out. Number 9 is to remember that you grow while you rest. Like, do not neglect rest because it is super important both for, like, both mentally and physically. It's just a very important part of the fitness process, and there have been several times, like, in my fitness journey where I've just, like, gone super hard and ultimately, like, burnt out because I was just pushing myself too hard and wasn't giving myself enough rest. And you know, if you kind of have to listen to your body here, and that's something that takes practice, but the more you do it, like, the better you'll get at kind of knowing when you need to give your body a rest. Yeah, this is something that just kind of takes practice, but just always keep in mind that, like, it's okay to rest, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna, if you have like one easy week or something like that, you know, like a deload week, like, it's not, like, that's not gonna ruin your progress at all, you know? In fact, it will probably, like, help you in terms of your long-term growth, right? Because it's all about staying consistent, right? So it's better to rest more and be consistent than to be inconsistent but go harder, right? And last but not least is to enjoy the process. This is definitely one of the main philosophies of this channel, even though this is the first video of this channel, but this will be one of the main philosophies going forward, is like, you want to enjoy the process, right? Fitness should never be like a burden, you know? Like, it should not be something that you dread. Like, so if you're someone who's struggling to stay consistent, I would suggest experimenting with different types of exercises, just different forms of exercise until you find like what you like, because I think there is a form of exercise out there for everyone that you can enjoy, right? I think it's very important to kind of not get super over consumed with how you're looking, but you should be feeling good, you know? Like if you're staying active and you're feeling good, like that's awesome. You know, that's what it's all about, really. It's not about like having a freaking six-pack like 12 months out of the year. Like, that's just unrealistic, you know? So just like have fun, enjoy the process. That's what I believe is the most important part. If you enjoy the process, like, you'll crush it. Like, that's the fact of the matter. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope you found this helpful. This is my very first YouTube video, so I'd really appreciate a like, a comment, a subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And you know, like, let me know in the comments what you want to hear me talk about. And yeah, don't really know how to end it here. Maybe like maybe I can come up with like a sweet catchphrase or something. Just like, stay cool, man. Yeah.